There is a growing argument that Iran should surrender the way Japan did in 1945 to avoid any further destruction. But surrender in this case is not as simple as it was in the case of Japan. A surrender is not just operational. It's primarily psychological. If not done right, you don't end this war, you just plan the next one. The Potsdam Declaration in July 1945 was, in fact, an ultimatum to Japan. If not complete surrender, then face total destruction. In this ultimatum, there was a promise, a glimmer of hope for rebuilding Japan. Emperor Hirohito was left to continue the system in his own familiar name. It was not just an ultimatum, but a design in continuity of the system. But in Iran's case, what was the first step? Eliminate multiple tiers of authority to show dominance, to show power. This was designed to humiliate, to capitulate. It was built on false pretenses of negotiations and surprise attacks, breaching any trust in words. This is the operating philosophy of the Netanyahu regime, the supremacist exclusivity psyche that mocks, belittles, and diminishes every nation and every opponent that criticizes its genocidal Zionist expansionist actions. This psyche has now permeated, unfortunately, in the mainstream Israeli society to the levels where a common man is indifferent to the torture and extermination of children and even animals that belong to their enemies. There's enough evidence in the media to this effect. It's just not an exaggeration. In Iran, first, they eliminated any effective leadership. Next, they want to take away the identity and pride of everyday Iranians. In 1945 Japan, only the leadership was held accountable. People were let go. In Iran, millions of people are facing collective punishment. And that's the Netanyahu strategy. Everywhere he attacks. We must realize people are not loyal to systems. People are loyal to symbols. Systems come and go. Symbols remain. When you attack symbols, you attack pride. You attack generations. And this is what is happening in Iran. In order to make the desired surrender happen, we need to follow the Potsdam Declaration model. Promise preserving the symbols and the national pride of Iranian people while demanding a change in the system of government. Once that Japan model is promised, people of Iran themselves will take care of the regime change that we are looking for. Remember, Germany in World War I was humiliated in the Treaty of Versailles, and it returned with even bigger vengeance in World War II. Now, there are three possibilities and three paths for Iran. Number one, total surrender and humiliation the way Netanyahu wants, and insurgency returns the way it returned in Libya, in Iraq. Number two, a symbolic and partial surrender. Nothing changes. The conflict pauses and returns at a later point in time, just the way it was. There's a third path, a structured surrender, Japan style. Pride and symbol are preserved, a future of people is promised. The regime loses its credibility, and finally, a transition to another form of government. Not annihilation, but limitation. Not humiliation, but transformation. No endless war, but a structured peace. A surrender is not just about losing a war. It's about what is preserved after the war. Japan survived because its identity survived. Do not let Netanyahu's penchant for humiliating and eliminating hijack the American interest to bring this war of choice to an early end. Offer a Marshal Plan-style rebuilding promise for Iranian people. The people of Iran themselves will take care of any isolationist, regressive, extremist elements in their own regime. So, the real question is not, should Iran surrender? The real question is, what kind of surrender creates peace instead of planting seeds for the next war?